Elimination. An emotional night in the pool for Australia's most decorated Olympian. Also tonight, a 16-year-old boy loses his life in a Hunter Valley house fire. And why the Prime Minister is calling for Barnaby Joyce to be sacked.
This is NBN News with Gavin and Natasha Beyersdorf.
Good evening. It was 96 seconds that proved even our best can reach new heights. After 2 silvers and a bronze in the category at previous Olympics, Jess Fox's performance of a lifetime has finally won her K1 gold. But the end of a 12-year quest came with a nervous wait.
Strong of mind, strong of paddle.
She carried the flag and the weight of a nation's expectations, and Jess Fox showed why she's the face of our Olympics campaign.
Flags waving in the crowd. That is how you do it.
The elusive kayaking gold that again looked to have slipped out of reach, now hers. And this is what it meant to her team and her mum. For the Foxes, this was joy and relief.
I'm the Olympic champion. It hasn't really sunk in yet, but it's been just a whirlwind of emotion over the last hour, I think.
Jess went into the finals as top qualifier and with a giant target on her back.
World number 1.
But her semi-run wasn't her best, well off the pace and sitting mid-pack for the final. Her dad, Richard, on the commentary line.
That's a good final coming up. Nervous run, I'd say.
An hour-long break giving her the chance to reset and re-emerge as the powerhouse paddler we know.
We know what she's capable of.
Great nerves for mum and coach following every twist and turn on the bank. This is the one before her out the water. The realisation that gold was in reach, sparking elation from those who've ridden every wave along the way. Her mum, a bronze medalist in the same event at the 1996 Atlanta Games.
She's given everyone something to chase.
There'd be an anxious wait for the rest. 2 others, including Pole Claudia Zwolinska, would come close.
Jessica Fox is the Olympic champion.
Dad knew his daughter had got the job done.
That's how I thought.
And I knew that the time was a good time to be able to get on the podium, but you just never know. The wait was long.
Is it a proud mum moment?
Of course, an amazing moment.
Dad, always proud. Win, lose or draw, we'll be proud of you.
She was already the world champion. Now she can call herself the Olympic champion as well. Her first gold in the kayak, and you can tell this is one she really wants it. And she let it show on top of that podium.
The gold medalist and Paris 2024 Olympic champion, Jessica Fox!
And back at the chateau, she and her teammates are calling home east of Paris. A hero's welcome, ringing the bell and popping champagne. Back in Penrith, friends stayed up into the early hours for a watching party.
Once we get home, it's kind of about switching off and trying to refocus, but definitely we will be celebrating this.
In Paris, Edward Godfrey, NBN News.
The Matildas tournament is still alive after all hope seemed lost against Zambia. At one stage, they were 5-2 down, but a stunning late comeback salvaged the Tillies tournament and turned the match into an 11-goal thriller.
It's the miracle on the Mediterranean. Just when their medal hopes looked dead and buried, the Matildas found something special.
The golden mindset of the Matildas. It's the golden mindset. It's just one of a kind.
From the first minute, the Tillies were in trouble.
And shoots and scores! Inside the opening minutes.
Zambia's star strikers causing havoc. Australia paying the price. Down 5-2 early in the second half.
And the header is delightful.
But it's never been the Matildas' way to spit the dummy. And as the goals came, their belief grew.
Oh, through the hands of the keeper. It's a monumental mistake, but the Matildas will take it.
Steph Capley calmly converting from the penalty spot to level the scores before Australia's ageless wonder.
So I was happy to come on with fresh legs and run some rings around and just, enjoy the game. And you could see that passion on the field. We were giving it our all and we never gave up.
This is not the time to dwell about how we conceded 5 goals, because obviously that was, but this is the time to talk about the spirit in this team.
The Matildas flew into France with much fanfare on a private jet with high expectations. But just when their Olympic campaign looked in tatters, this stunning comeback has them back in the medal hunt.
I really want that medal and I'll do anything that I can do to, get that and bring that home.
We'll look back at this in years to come, and we were here when they won 6-5.
Alive and kicking once more.
Aussie! Aussie!
In Paris, Christina Hearn, NBN News.
It was an emotional night at the pool for our most decorated Olympian, Emma McKeon. The 12-time medalist could only muster 6th place in her final individual race. But with relays to come, there's still hope of a fairy tale farewell before she retires.
Emma McKeon is already Australia's greatest Olympian, but a medal in a final individual event would be the perfect end to a glittering career.
Australia riding with Emma McKeon for one final time.
Carrying the weight of a nation yet again, at a 6th place in the 100 metres butterfly.
So a solid swing from Emma. Her record just speaks for itself.
Her swan song and that famous smile gave way to rare emotion.
I tried not to think about too much before. Just emotional. I definitely hope that would have been better.
Her parents couldn't be prouder.
Over the years, she's just brought so much joy to so many people who have just followed her journey, and particularly the people from Wollongong who just stop us in the street and the supermarket all the time just to talk about her like they own her.
But it's not goodbye just yet. There are relays to be swum and won. The 200 metres women's freestyle showdown is shaping to be an Aussie 1-2. Titmus side by side with Molly O'Callaghan in the semi-final.
Good start from the Aussies.
And they never left each other.
They are locked stroke for stroke for the last 15 metres. There is absolutely nothing separating them again.
Arnie stole the honours.
Titmus from O'Callaghan by a fingernail.
But it's only round 1. And an Aussie duel in the pool beckons. And while it was not a golden night for Australia, it was for the hosts. Leon Marchand is a superstar in this country, a sponsor's dream. The full house for the final of the 4x100 metres medley, France ruled. Live sites in the heart of Paris cheered on every stroke.
Very proud of Leon Marchand.
Leon Marchand was never going to let his proud nation down. The world record holder, an Olympic gold in his sights, but tonight it was simply magnificent.
He is going to win a gold medal at his home Olympics. Viva Leon!
The 22-year-old is the new king, eclipsing the greatest, Michael Phelps, as he hunts down 4 gold medals at home.
So will it be gold for Ariane Titmus or Molly O'Callaghan tonight? Damien Ryan has the latest from Paris.
Who knows, but what it does appear certain, it will be a 1-2 finish for Australia. The first since Ian Thorpe and Grant Hackett in Athens in 2004. Nothing separates this pair. They share the same pool, the same coach, and they're the fastest women in this event's history. If the Titmus-Ledecky showdown was billed as the race of the century, well, Arnie v Molly just might be the race that stops the nation.
14-year-old Chloe Cavell was the only Australian to qualify for the final of the women's street skateboarding. But when it was time to go for gold, she just couldn't land the trick she needed.
I'm proud that I made it into the final, and yeah, I guess I tried my best and that's all I could do.
Chloe finished the competition in 8th. Chris Burton and his horse Shadow Man are on track for a medal in the individual eventing, sitting in 3rd place after a stunning display in the cross country. He came joint third in the dressage on Saturday, leaving just the show jumping to nail today.
I actually had the ride of my life. Of course, you're nervous at these championships. You worry they get tired, they get a bit fatigued. The crowd actually picks them up, so that's amazing.
No such luck, though, for his teammate Kevin McNabb, who was forced to retire his horse Don Quidam with a leg injury, all but ruling out Australia from a medal in the team eventing. The water woes continue for Paris tonight, with the River Seine failing water quality tests again. Australian swimmers are due in the water tomorrow, as Josh Bavis reports.
The triathlon competition was set to be held tomorrow, but that's now been cast into doubt. A training familiarisation session for the athletes in the river this morning had to be canned. That's because tests done after the heavy rain we saw during the opening ceremony showed the water quality isn't acceptable. The decision has been made to postpone today's session by a number of officials, including those from Paris 2024, the City of Paris and World Triathlon. They've said they hope the water quality will improve over the next 24 hours with clear weather forecast. If not, the triathlon event itself could be postponed or even moved to another river east of here. More than 1.3 billion euros has been spent cleaning up the Seine in time for the Olympic Games. About 10 days ago, the mayor of Paris took a dip herself to prove her confidence in the quality of the water.
Fresh from her gold medal winning performance, Aussie cyclist Grace Brown's next stop was Paris Hospital to visit injured teammate Lucas Platt. The 23-year-old crashed in the individual time trial and underwent stomach surgery. He's still scheduled to compete in the road race in a few days' time. And now for a look at the medal tally after day 2 of the Paris Games, and Japan and Australia are on top with 4 golds each, followed by the US and the host nation. Next, today's other news, including tributes flowing for a teenage boy following a deadly house fire at Cessnock. Barnaby Joy says sorry for comments that infuriated the PM. And Andrew O'Keefe emerges from his latest arrest with a spray for reporters.
Excuse me, everybody. Could I just have your attention, please? This is Matthew, send-off for the Paris Olympics.
I'm sorry for crowding you, and all the best for Paris.
When I was young, I tried to build a paper plane, but my head told me no. My parents sat me down and they tried to explain, but I had some time.
That is very cool.
I was special, and when I didn't believe.
I love you, Morris. Love you, man. The whole team loves you, and they're so proud of you.
We're all behind you, so good luck.
With all these Aussie navel oranges high in vitamin C, sick days won't stand a chance. Navel oranges, now on sale at Aldi. Aldi, good different.
Due to popular demand, Sun Solar Energy's end of financial year sale has been extended. Fully installed solar systems are flying up the warehouse door from just $3,791. Hurry, this incredible offer is only available while stocks last. Call Sun Solar Energy today.
Amart's Good as Gold sale is on now. Save 20% off regular ticket price purchase store-wide when you spend over $2,499. That savings is good as gold across lounges, dining, bedroom and more. Don't miss out. Hurry into Amart.
The ultimate performance of the ultimate
For the 100 built-in safety features around you for truly surprise-free driving. All new Paddle Jump-In Hybrid. Truly surprising.
Are you thinking al fresco and looking for something simple? Call HV Aluminium.
Are you looking for something stylish? Call HV Aluminium.
Or are looking for ideas to design something stunning?
If you're thinking al fresco, call or visit HV Aluminium New Lantern, 1-800-801-572.
A help company will get people back on their feet. Make complicated stuff simple. And he'd been trying to predict the unpredictable. So that's what we're doing. NRMA Insurance, a help company.
NBN News, brought to you by NRMA Insurance, a help company.
A Cessnock family is in mourning and the community reeling after a teenager died in a house fire overnight. Emergency services worked frantically to try to save the boy, quickly extinguishing the blaze and performing CPR, sadly to no avail.
A sweet, down-to-earth boy gone too soon. 16-year-old Jack Badrick lost his life last night after his Cessnock home went up in flames. 30 firefighters plus police, paramedics and the rescue chopper descended on the scene in Alkira Avenue around 10 p.m.
Crews worked very hard and very quickly to knock down the fire so that the search can continue throughout the house.
Jack was rescued from the house but couldn't be revived.
It's a very chaotic scene when the crews arrived. Obviously, members of the public were trying to help, but there was a lot of flame exiting the house.
His family huddling under blankets as they tried to come to terms with the news. Today, a relative who didn't want to be named said she's struggling to believe he's gone.
He was a gorgeous boy with a great big smile. He was a happy, bubbly little soul and loved life and absolutely loved the water.
His 9-year-old sister is said to have escaped the blaze with help from a 14-year-old friend. Authorities returned this morning to inspect the scene together with an accelerant detection dog trained to sniff out the cause of the fire, which remains under investigation. Jack's friends leaving tributes, paying their respects. Neighbours who didn't want to speak on camera tell us the teenager was a beautiful soul who will be sorely missed. Their thoughts now with his mother and sister. Jack's family says he was severely autistic, his former carer adding he came so far in life and unfortunately had that taken from him.
Very overwhelming and devastating. I'm very sad.
Risa Otama, NBN News.
Anthony Albanese is calling for New England MP Barnaby Joyce to be sacked after the former Deputy Prime Minister compared voting to shooting. It came as the new-look Labor frontbench was sworn in, with Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke already on his way to Indonesia for talks on people smuggling.
Back around the cabinet table, new faces and different places.
I know that all of you won't take it for granted.
Earlier, it was all smiles from Andrew Giles, the former immigration minister, now on the outer after a scandal plagued 2 years. His job and that of Claire O'Neill now in the hands of Tony Burke.
As Minister for Home Affairs, Minister for Immigration and Multicultural Affairs, Minister for Cyber Security and Minister for the Arts.
This department is now going to be under one minister. We're cleaning up the mess which was creation of this sort of Frankensteinian Home Affairs department.
The Prime Minister says it's a case of putting responsibility with the senior players in his team. But tonight it's a different metaphor that's causing concern. Barnaby Joyce at an anti-wind farm protest on a windy afternoon in Wollongong.
And the bullet you have is that little piece of paper. And it goes in a magazine called The Voting Box.
The comments more sloppy than sinister.
Goodbye, Albo.
But sackable, according to the PM.
That's a test for Peter Dutton, whether that's acceptable or whether he has his fifth reshuffle, which should occur today.
Got to get themselves in trouble because of the vernacular news. But I don't care.
Today, he did.
I apologise for using that metaphor.
Better safe and sorry. Charles Croucher, NBN News.
4 young women vanished from the Newcastle and Lake Macquarie area between 1978 and 79, among them Leanne Goodall. Tonight, we shine a light on the cold case in what is Missing Persons Week, her sister raising new questions. 46 years after her sister went missing, Pam Goodall has revealed for the first time she has big doubts about the theory of what happened, questioning whether Leanne was last seen alive at Muswellbrook or Newcastle Star Hotel, and the initial police response.
Whether she even actually got on a train at Muswellbrook, everything's doubtful because the police never even investigated anything. They never did a thing.
Leanne Goodall's file shows on December 30, 1978, she was dropped off at Muswellbrook railway station by her brother Warren, with the 20-year-old due to arrive in Newcastle about lunchtime. Several years later, a person came forward to police to say she saw Leanne that night at the Star Hotel, a line of inquiry investigated in the late 1990s by Strike Force Fenwick. Pam, while appreciative, now believes it's possible that may be a mix-up given the passage of time.
I just sort of feel as though that, it could have been mistaken.
There are also striking similarities to two other cases. Reports show Leanne had also planned to catch a bus that day to her mother's home at Belmont, which was just a few hundred metres from where Robin Hickey went missing from a bus stop just 3 months later, while Amanda Robinson vanished shortly after that, catching a bus home to Swansea.
It's only a few months apart, really, so you'd think that it was the same person being so close together.
Pam's mother, Bethleen, desperately sought justice and died in 2012 with the mystery still unsolved.
We're hoping that we will get some kind of an answer and we can lay them to rest.
$1 million rewards have been announced for other high-profile hunter cases. Leanne's has long been $100,000.
It's always a hole in your heart, it's like she's the forgotten child, and that hurts a lot.
Police say following extensive lines of inquiry by detectives, the matter remains with the homicide squad. Any information that becomes available is assessed, while adding the seeking any information that may assist police. Jane Goldsmith, NBN News. Lake Macquarie private hospital staff walked off the job today, calling for better wages and conditions. The union wants an 18% pay rise for nurses and midwives and says Ramsay Healthcare has only offered 11%.
So we've been in negotiations for 13 months with Ramsay with no actual, they're not coming to the table. So sadly, we're out here taking industrial action, trying to get what we deserve.
Ramsay says negotiations are continuing.
A Hunter family has made an urgent safety plea after their toddler was injured near a popular playground. They're calling on bike riders and skaters to slow down, fearing it's only a matter of time before someone is badly hurt.
Nursing a nasty bump that could have been a lot worse. Little Ella Mann was on the shared pathway just a few metres from the Honeysuckle Park playground when she was struck by an e-bike yesterday morning.
She just smashed her head onto the ground, the bike and the person on the bike fell on top of her, and being a 21-month-year-old, it was just, very horrific.
Witnesses called police. And Ella's family says the rider immediately offered assistance.
He said to my husband that it goes up to 25 kilometres an hour, and my husband said to him, I hope you didn't hit my child going 25 kilometres an hour.
Ella's family say they're concerned about the safety of others, given the area is popular with cyclists and skaters, and are calling for more clarity around the rules for e-bikes and e-scooters on shared pathways.
Kids can be unpredictable, and same as pets can be unpredictable. And really, bicycle riders need to slow down, ride at a speed that's safe for the environment that they're riding in.
There is a place for it, there's no doubt about that, but I think it's on the roads.
Today, Ella was in high spirits. On the mend, but still bearing the scars.
Yeah, to look at her face, it's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Her family urging all riders in the area to slow down and be mindful of pedestrians of all ages.
As Elise said, there was a families here yesterday. It could have happened to any other family or an elderly person. Just watch out what you're doing.
Newcastle Council, which manages the area, declined to comment. Lauren Kemp, NBN News. Two of its alumni, Claire Wheeler and Mariah Williams, tasted Olympic success overnight, and today Hunter Sports High wasted no time celebrating. Students were out in green and gold, with the games screened during breaks.
Obviously, with a few former students competing in both hockey, football, things like that, it makes it a little bit extra special. So there's a buzz around the place for sure.
It's really pushed me to become better and want more.
Hunter Sports High was named an Olympic pathway school last year.
The icy winds of winter are making cold days feel even colder, only topping out in the mid-teens right across the Central Coast, and Greater Hunter with more to come.
Coming up next, emotional scenes in court as the killer of a casino teenager prepares to learn his fate.
Fears for the future of Rex after the airline enters a trading halt.
And has this man become the Eric the Eel of the Paris Olympics?
Company will get people back on their feet after things go wrong. And it will make complicated stuff simple. A help company will cover you no matter who's driving your car. Or if you forgot to lock your front door. Kevin. It would hire climate scientists and try to predict the unpredictable. Do all those things. So that's what we're doing. NRMA Insurance, a help company.
Morning. Try this at home.
Make it happen at IKEA.co.uk. Irresistibly smooth, topped with velvety froth. Whatever you're up to, now's good for a deliciously creamy and frothy Nescafe caramel latte. Nescafe, make your world. Thanks to Light and Easy, managing your weight and enjoying a healthier life has never been easier.
Light and Easy has options for everyone. Once you get into it, you won't want to turn back because it will change your life. I kind of regret not doing it earlier.
Go beyond at South Southern Single Wave. Book your stay now and save. Just one of Journey Beyond's iconic Australian travel experiences. Search Journey Beyond today.
The ultimate performance of the ultimate time.
Harkaway Homes are the reproduction specialists. Iconic Australiana homes, impeccably reproduced in every detail. Take advantage of our special price. Now offering up to $10,000 in savings.
Liberty Home Loans hit different. They're for the free thinkers, the go-getters, and the creatives. So if you're a free thinker, you'll be right at home. Liberty, loans for free thinkers. That's how we want.
Ian's Lock and Bar stock a large range of Yeti products, from coffee mugs, beer coasters, and also the new Yeti luggage range. Ian's Lock and Bar have got it all. Yeti at Ian's Lock and Bar.
With so many holiday homes on Booking.com, there are so many Tina Feys I could be. So I hired body doubles. Wild Tina of the apartment. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
NBN News, brought to you by Qantas. Proudly supporting our Australian Olympic and Paralympic teams all the way to Paris.
There have been emotional scenes in Lismore Supreme Court during sentencing for what's been labelled the execution-style murder of a 17-year-old boy. Ned Grono was fatally stabbed as he slept. Today, his mother described how she's haunted by the killing and will never recover.
Caring and popular, Ned Grono was today described as everyone's favourite lad, a 17-year-old whose life had just begun but ended in sheer horror. He was stabbed 12 times as he slept in his bed by then 18-year-old Rain Alwood in June 2022. Ned's parents found their son clinging to life, his mother today telling Lismore Supreme Court that her feelings of guilt of that night for Ned, who should have been safe in his own home, in his own bed, will forever haunt me. But the true guilt lies with one person, and it's not me. Alwood was drunk and affected by drugs when he walked an hour to Ned's casino home to carry out the murder, following unsubstantiated allegations of an assault. The prosecution today described it as an execution-style killing, a sustained and brutal attack.
Aylward told the court that he was in a fit of rage on the night of the murder and that afterwards he returned home, had a shower and washed his blood-soaked clothes along with the knife that was used. Now 20, Aylward read 2 letters to the court, one to Ned's family, the other to the judge, where he took full responsibility for the crime, labelling his actions as disgusting and accepting he must pay the price. He'll be sentenced tomorrow. Tyson Cottrell, NBN News. Andrew O'Keefe has again avoided jail after allegedly driving under the influence of drugs and while suspended. The fallen TV star was arrested in Sydney yesterday, shortly after an argument with a man at his girlfriend's home.
He's known for the chase, and Andrew O'Keefe was ducking and weaving as he left Waverley Police Station. Andrew, what happened yesterday? The 52-year-old was arrested after allegedly threatening a man at his on-again, off-again partner's Point Piper apartment.
Do you think you can stay off the drugs?
Officers pulling over the former Deal or No Deal star in Bellevue Hill, where a roadside drug test allegedly returned a positive result to methamphetamine. When they searched him, police say he had an ice pipe in his pocket that he claimed wasn't his. He was charged with breaching an apprehended violence order, stalking and intimidation. Police still awaiting the lab analysis of the drug test. After spending the night in custody, O'Keefe looked dishevelled and agitated when he came up from the cells, whispering to his lawyer and rolling his eyes at his sister, who was seated in the front row. O'Keefe escaped jail earlier this year after being found guilty of domestic violence and drug offences. Today, he was let off with strict bail conditions, including staying off drugs and alcohol. His sister paying a surety to ensure he provides daily urine samples. In Waverley, Kate Creedon, NBN News.
Guy McKenzie lost his leg in a shark attack at Port Macquarie last week, but his strength, sense of humour and spirit is shining through. The 23-year-old sharing this image from John Hunter Hospital with the caption, "Spot something missing." He also thanked the public for donating more than $160,000 towards his recovery.
At least 15 people have died in a landslide in China's southeast. The disaster triggered by heavy rain from a tropical storm. The system has caused major flooding, with rescue operations still underway in multiple provinces.
Global leaders have spent the past 24 hours locked in intense diplomacy to try and prevent a wider regional war in the Middle East. Israel has struck several targets deep inside Lebanon, with the IDF claiming it's hit Hezbollah infrastructure and weapons storage. The retaliation came as thousands of people gathered to mourn the victims of a rocket strike from Lebanon that killed 12 people in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights.
Kamala Harris is enjoying a surge of support since Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race and endorsed her. In the past week, the vice president's favourability rating has jumped from 35 to 43%, and her election campaign has raised close to $305 million. The number of Australian businesses falling into voluntary administration has skyrocketed as the economy sours, and airline Rex is now teetering on the edge too. Finance editor Chris Kohler has the details.
11,049 businesses tumbled into insolvency last financial year, a nearly 40% rise on the previous year. High interest rates and high costs are claiming more than ever before. Construction businesses made up 1 in 4 of the failures. Hospitality collapses rose a stunning 50% year on year, and retail insolvencies were up 42%. The economy is often seen through the lens of households, for good reason, but small businesses are under immense pressure. As for the share market today, up a solid 68 points, but the focus was on Rex. The airline entered a trading halt with reports Deloitte has flown in to help restructure the business. Rex's share price is down 34% so far this year. And the Australian dollar tumbled last week, so hopefully those over in Paris bought their euros earlier in the month. One Aussie is buying 60 euro cents, 65 US cents, and close to 51 British pence.
Now to an out-of-this-world tribute to the world's best athletes. NASA astronauts have tried their hand at some Olympic sports at the International Space Station. There was weightless weightlifting, shot put among the stars, and a gymnastics routine scoring a perfect 10 in zero gravity.
Or when the swimming world needed him, he was there in colourful but cheered on by the crowd for his effort. The mystery man has been dubbed Bob the Cat Catcher.
It was a beautiful entry as well.
Very nice.
Just about perfect. As we move to sport now with Adam Murray.
Adam, I'll tell you what was tough going for Molly Picklum in Tahiti.
Good evening, guys. The conditions weren't great, and neither was her draw. Next, Australian officials call for a review as the Central Coast star gets bundled out at the Olympics. Also had mixed results for our aces on clay in Paris, and the return of the biggest star in gymnastics draws some of the biggest names in Hollywood.
Now at Harvey Norman, Dyson's new invention solves the problem of washing hard floors, doing it properly. 2 microfiber rollers use clean water. 1 washes, the other finishes, removing tough stains, spills and dried-on dirt, hygienically cleaning the rollers, leaving kitchens, bathrooms and living spaces sparklingly clean. Then it cleans itself. The new Dyson Wash G1 Powerful Hard Floor Cleaner. Available now for only $9.99 at Harvey Norman, Australia's official retail partner.
The ultimate performance of the ultimate time.
Oh no.
Hey,
Hey.
is that the McSmart meal from Macca's?
Yeah, 2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95.
Smart.
Go beyond its self-service legal relief. Book your stay now and save. Just one Journey Beyond's iconic Australian travel experiences. Search Journey Beyond today.
Thanks to Light and Easy, managing your weight and enjoying a healthier life has never been easier.
The flexibility of Light and Easy is good because it works for everyone. Jumpstart Pro really worked for me. You don't have to count calories, it's all there and you see results straight away.
The ultimate performance of the ultimate time.
Sheds up to 40% cheaper. Triple garage is $8,600. 4-car garage $7,250.
15% off sale is on right now at Best Sheds.
Call Best Sheds on 1-800-15-17-18.
I was the executor, and things were getting really testy with the family. I didn't know where it would all end up. Beyersdorf came in and sorted the whole thing out. I'm so glad we spoke to Beyersdorf.
Get it sorted. Call Beyersdorf Lawyers.
Think it's better all the way out here on a better night than that way. You can take that with you.
We're proud to be Australia's freshwater partner.
Our chances of surfing gold were dealt a huge blow this morning with the Central Coast Molly Picklum eliminated in the second round in Tahiti. Australian sporting officials have since called for a review of Olympic rules after Picklum was seated well below her current world ranking.
Helmet on and ready for that is commitment plus.
But after coming north, Shelley board rider gave a smile and a wave on her ride back to shore before being met by her teammates. Earlier, Sarah Baum had her game face on for South Africa.
Change at any time, so we're forever adapting to the conditions. I was kind of anticipating some turns, and then all of a sudden the wind stopped and it started to clean up and started to barrel.
She'll go head-to-head with Carissa Moore in round 3 tomorrow.
Said for the next one, you know, tomorrow's a different day. There can be completely different conditions, and I'm up against another opponent.
Lennox Head's Connor O'Leary is also into the pool, and the Central Coast Brad Woodward made his Olympic debut in the 100-metre backstroke.
Brad Woodward, unfortunately, coming in 8th position over there in lane 1.
His proud parents, Jeff and Karen, watching on from the rafters.
It was pretty amazing. The swim wasn't particularly good, but still to come out in this crowd is pretty awesome. And you know, it's been 8 years or so I've been trying to get on this team, so still pretty stoked with it. He'll compete in his favoured 200-metre backstroke on Thursday night. Just get back in, see where I went wrong, and, you know, just get going. I trained for the 200, so, you know, hopefully that one's a little bit better. Another coastie was flying the flag in the rugby sevens.
Look at her go! Faith off and running for Australia's second.
Faith Nathan helping Australia dominate the first day of the women's competition, taking down South Africa and Great Britain. Newcastle's Mariah Williams and Grafton's Grace Young, both featuring in Australia's 2-1 win over South Africa. And Newcastle's Nathan Power led the Sharks in their opening water polo match against Spain, but they went down to the European champions 9-5. Australia's Alexi Poprin has made it through the first round of the tennis draw, beating Chile's Nicholas Jarry 6-3, 7-6. Our men's doubles team of Matt Ebden and John Peers overcame the duo from Lebanon to advance to the second round. But the Olympic dream is over for Ayla Tomljanovic, knocked out by second seed Coco Gauff 6-3, 6-love. 3 years after her heartbreaking withdrawal from competition in Tokyo, US gymnast Simone Biles has made a stunning return to the big stage. The four-time Olympic champion delivering a dazzling routine and pulling an A-list crowd.
It was mission impossible to go unrecognised.
Thank you so much.
Tom Cruise swamped as he entered Bercy Arena. And with Snoop, Ariana and Gaga, the women's gymnastics was the hottest ticket in Paris. But the Hollywood presence did little to rattle its biggest star.
Representing the United States of America, Simone Biles.
7 medals across 3 Olympics. And today, Simone Biles delivered a first.
For the first time ever at an Olympic Games, a woman has landed this vault.
Defying physics with a Yurchenko double pike. Powering through a leg injury with a smile.
Here's one of her trademarks, back handspring, layout, step out, so solid.
Pushing the demons of Tokyo aside, where she suffered the twisties, a mental health block that led to her withdrawal and a 2-year hiatus from the sport.
Simone Biles put on a spectacle for the stars as she led the US through the qualification round. Meanwhile, her countrymen took to the basketball court with arguably the greatest roster ever assembled.
LeBron James and Steph Curry.
Well, when struggling, just give it to one of the best shooters in the history of basketball.
The 2 most expensive names in the NBA.
James, who gets up, beating his chest.
Delighting the packed stadium, including Spike Lee. In their Olympics campaign opener.
That's an air ball, but it falls to Jokic.
A highly anticipated matchup with a Nikola Jokic-led Serbia, but they easily pushed them aside 110-84. Kevin Durant coming off the bench with a game-high 23.
As good as ever, Kevin Durant.
Hardly raising a sweat in their quest for their 5th straight gold medal.
They have put on a show tonight.
In Paris, Alison Petrowski, NBN News.
There's more gold on offer for Australia in Paris tonight, and the action begins straight after the news with Cassiel Russo and Dominic Bedgood in the final of the men's 10-metre platform synchronised diving. At the same time, Shane Rose and Chris Burden will be competing on the last day of the equestrian eventing competition. Then early in the morning, attention returns to the pool. There's Max Giuliani in the men's 200 free before that epic clash between Ariane Titmus and Molly O'Callaghan in the women's. Next, the rest of the day's sport with good news for the Knights before their clash with the Premiers and a handy post-race promotion for Oscar Piastri.
Can I just have your attention, please? This is Matthew, send off for the Paris Olympics.
this works. We check our competitors' prices daily, then drop ours. So you can make your startup happen on any budget. We won't be beaten on price with our price beat guarantee.
Made in Australia for over 100 years, Dark's hot water systems are built stronger to last longer. Darks.com.au. There's a good reason Polaris has been Australia's #1 off-road vehicle brand for more than 20 years. Our fit-for-purpose range of fully electric, petrol and diesel models with 2, 3, 4 and 6-seater options to help you get more done. We've got the biggest range of genuine engineered accessories and even models for the kids. With dealerships across the country for service and support, Polaris is #1 when the day is done.
Oh, hey, is that the McSmart meal from Macca's? Yeah. 2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95. Smart.
Australia's fresh milk partner.
Yannick is better on a better mobile network. Hey, do you think I look alright? Well, yeah, I mean, of course. We both look great. My bats.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman, proud to be Australia's official retail partner.
Fletcher Sharp is expected to be recalled to first grade on Sunday for the Knights' clash with the Panthers. Adam Elliott is also set to return from a calf injury he suffered a fortnight ago against Manly.
Felt like I could do my job good enough to stay out there, but in hindsight probably made the calf a little bit worse. But I was lucky that it wasn't a big thing, and week off into the bye. Hopefully I'm all good now and I can touch a bit of wood and I'll be right to go for the rest of the season.
Newcastle was hoping to end a 2-match winless run. He's been linked with a possible move away from the Eels, but Dylan Brown has declared he's going nowhere, despite having the option in his contract to leave at the end of 2025.
No, I'm here to stay. I like Perth. They do good things for me, and I've always been here for the right reasons, and I'm going to continue to do that.
Meanwhile, Alex Johnston is facing 6 to 9 months after rupturing his Achilles in the Rabbitohs' 32-12 loss to the Raiders. George Russell celebrated winning Formula One's Belgian Grand Prix, but only for an hour. The Englishman beating home Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton and Aussie Oscar Piastri, even soaking up his moment on the podium, only to find out later that his car was underweight. That saw Russell disqualified and Hamilton awarded victory, with Piastri elevated to second. It just wasn't Christian Mansell's weekend in F3, the Hunter driver missing out on the points. Qualifying 20th made things difficult, but he managed to work his way up to 12th in the feature race before colliding with Arvid Lindblad. Mansell ended up 21st and is 6th in the championship with a round to go. Losing a number of attackers in the off-season was never ideal for the Jets, but they appear to have found a solution. Defender Thomas Aquilina moving up front and bagging a brace, and now he's got a taste for it.
Last season, no one expected Thomas Aquilina to get his name on the score sheet. Now he's done it twice in his first game on the wing.
Thomas Aquilina to complete his brace, make it 4 for Newcastle.
To kind of get the first one, I was really happy. To get the second was amazing, and realistically should have had the match ball.
The 23-year-old former defender says he's ready to lead from the front this season.
I think this year I really want to showcase my skills more advanced up the pitch. Boss gave me faith to play in that position, so it's all about repaying him the favour in goals as well.
And he's thriving under the new challenge.
Players play better when they're uncomfortable, and that's definitely been the last probably the last 6 months kind of finding my feet in a new position.
Rob Stanton believes the team is gelling well and it's cohesion the Jets will need in their next Australia Cup match against NPL side Rockdale in Sydney this Wednesday.
It'll be a really difficult game. I expected probably an even more difficult game than the one in Darwin, being that the game's going to be played on their home field, and it's you're playing against a team that'll be super hungry and I would assume would lift.
Montana Claire, NBN News.
Two Aussie rules and Newcastle City has edged ahead in the Black Diamond Cup standings after demolishing Killarney Vale by 80 points at #1 Sports Ground at the weekend. It was a closer affair elsewhere. The entrants Baddo Bay got the better of Maitland, while Cardiff just pipped Terrigal Avoca 58-56. The Newcastle North Stars have all but secured a spot in the Australian Ice Hockey League playoffs after downing the Central Coast Rhinos 3-0 at Warners Bay. Francis Drolet, Daniel Burno and Patrick Naden all found the back of the net, but the Rhinos will get a shot at revenge when the two sides meet again on Sunday. From the ice to the AstroTurf, and Maitland didn't miss on Sunday in its Hunter Coast Premier Hockey League clash against the Tigers, bagging 2 early goals before finishing off with a penalty in the 3-1 win. Meanwhile, competition heavyweights Gosford and Norths drew 1-1, and West moved into third on the ladder thanks to a 4-1 win over Souths. And exciting news for Hunter basketball fans, with the Sydney Kings announcing they're heading to Newcastle for a 3-day roadshow. Arriving on August 22, the NBL side will host a coaching clinic and signing session at Newcastle Basketball Stadium and also visit 2 schools. The trip is a special homecoming for the Hunter's own Kawat Noi. And guys, the Olympics, I can't wait for day 3.
Oh yeah, bring it on. Let's go. Thanks, Adam.
All right, thank you, Adam. How's this cold weather? More to come. Details next.
If a security company does security,
What would a help company do?
a help company will get people back on their feet after things go wrong and guarantee the workmanship of repairs for a lifetime. A help company will make complicated stuff simple. It would explore new tech to assist you. A help company will cover you no matter who's driving your car. Or if you forgot to lock your front door. Kevin. It would help get communities prepared for extreme weather. Hire climate scientists. And try to predict the unpredictable. Do all those things. So, that's what we're doing. NRMA Insurance, a help company.
With all these Aussie navel oranges high in vitamin C, sick days won't stand a chance. Navel oranges, now on sale at Aldi. Aldi, good different.
Biscoff Storm and Shake are back at Hungry Jack's. Delicious, caramelised and creamy, crunchy sensations you fell in love with.
10 out of 10.
It is perfect. So good. Go get this. Biscoff Storm and Shake. Only at Hungry Jack's.
Can I just have your attention, please? This is Matthew, send off for the Paris Olympics.
Having the widest range means a whole lot more for your home.
It means we have a tool for every job and a nut for every box. A Barbie for every backyard.
And a colour for every mood.
All under one roof.
It's the 40 Winks Sleep Event of the Year. Up to 50% off mattresses, up to 30% off furniture. 40 Winks are even handling the heavy lifting with free delivery. This sale is for a limited time only. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
At Kmart, we've dropped our famously low prices across hundreds of items store-wide. So it's easier to get the products your family needs at low prices you love. And they're here to stay. Kmart, low prices for life.
We'd say that Mount Buller is better on a better mobile network.
They'll edit that out, probably. What?
Last winter was the warmest on record for New South Wales, but this winter, well, this is the real deal. This is more like it as far as winter is concerned, and there's a lot more cold weather on the way. The past 24 hours, well, we had that rain band clear over the weekend. Real powder snow coming down across the ski resorts. It's been a cracking couple of days indeed. Another vigorous low in the Tasman. This is significant cold weather outbreak number 2. We have the third moving our way throughout early August. And again, it's going to be very similar to the previous two, with a low, big high centred over the central eastern interior. In the west, there's also a front moving through. But this setup is going to be very similar again as we move into the first week of August. That intense low generating a monster swell, massive tomorrow. Howling southerly winds and showers skimming along the coast, and significant wind chill factors as well. Locally, it very rarely feels like it's reached the double digits despite all of the sunshine, particularly inland. So very cold. Frost, this is the frost footprint from the Alice to Longreach Emerald throughout central Queensland. It's extraordinarily cold conditions engulfing the southeast with widespread inland frosts, including the Upper Hunter. A lot of air moving around this morning, but it certainly felt freezing. Mid-teens, but feeling like 10 degrees, 11 at best. Strong southerly winds offshore, those winds again creating a wind chill factor. Wet weather, mostly focused along the coastal fringe around Port Stephens and moving in across the Central Coast Lake and Newcastle as we progress through the day. Mid-teens, but again feeling much colder than this, combined with the cloud and the showers, wind chill factors, well, peaking at about 10, 11 degrees. Inland feeling much, much colder also, mostly feeling like it's never escaped the single digits for another day. Significant frosts likely right throughout the Upper Hunter, reaching the mid-teens, 7 metres of swell, strong wind warnings offshore, very dangerous boating conditions, rock fishing and surfing as well. Sun to rise 7:15, down 5:15, low tide tomorrow 9:20, hitting the high in the afternoon. 5 metres of swell crashing our shoreline throughout tomorrow, easing a little bit through the week, but the showers and the cold continuing, warming a little bit for the weekend, and there's that next cold outbreak coming through next week. Temperatures will plummet yet again, and we'll go through the same situation. And the swell, well, it's going to be big. We've got coastal erosion now expected as we move through the next couple of days. The new swell started to arrive, and it's only going to continually pummel the coast now. That is an intense low out there, whipping up these huge, dangerous swells, and they will be running up the entire coast into southern Queensland for the next few days. So go for a jog. Or just do some lounge room Olympic sports.
Good idea. Thank you, Gav. That is NBN News.
From all of the team.
Good night. Good night.